Jai Shri friends, there is a story about St. Thomas as he arrived in the land of India. He was led before the king of the land. The king asked him with interest about his skills, and the apostle Thomas assured him that he was among the most accomplished builders and demonstrated him adequately his skills in this art. Then the king entrusted him with a plentiful amount of money to build him a palace. No sooner had the apostle Thomas received the king's money, plentiful as it was, he distributed all of it to the poor and to all who were in need. After a short time, the king came to know about the reality and became furious, only to get the saint before him. The king asked him about the palace. Then he replied that it's under construction and it is very beautiful too. But when the king asked him to show, then he replied, "It is not possible in the present life, O king, to see the castle which I am preparing for you. At your departure from this world, however, you will see it, and you will enjoy it with great happiness and rejoicing." These words of the Apostle Thomas, King Gundafar considered deceitful and did not believe it, so he asked the soldiers that the apostle be skinned alive and afterwards thrown into a fire to be burned. At this time, God had worked a miracle. The king had a brother named Gad who was even more upset than his brother at St. Thomas' failure to build their palace. So he encouraged the king to proceed with Thomas' punishment. In the interim, however, Gad died. The death of Gad, however, prompted the postponement of the Apostle Thomas' death. As soon as Gad died, angels took his soul and showed him the everlasting abodes that exist in the other world for those who are saved from sin. Gad's soul was so overwhelmed by the beauty, the magnitude and the extraordinary brightness of one of those heavenly mansions that he persistently pleaded with his angelic guides to let him live in just one of the smallest of the rooms in the mansion. The angelic guides, however, would not consent to his request, pointing out that the mansion belonged to his brother Gundafar and that it had been built by Thomas. Upon hearing this, Gad began with even greater zeal to implore his angelic guides for a chance to return to the world so that he could buy this dazzling castle from his brother. His request was granted and he got back to life. Gad went to his brother and began to plead with him, saying, "If you love me, my brother, fulfill my request to buy the beautiful palace which Thomas the Christian has built for you in heaven." Carefully listening to these words, the king well understood their meaning and recognized that Thomas was in fact an apostle of God. And he answered his brother, "My brother, I cannot sell you that building, the acquisition of which did not come so easily. Rather, I believe it easier to take the building for myself and to introduce you to the architect who made it, who by divine providence is still alive, and he can make a similar castle on your behalf." Today's gospel speaks about treasure in heaven. Whatever wealth you make in this earth, it will accompany you only till the tomb. After that, nothing could be taken except our good works. Our life in this earth is very short. Let it be filled with good works, and that will help us to have eternal life. Not only that, the name and fame that we earn on this earth by our wealth could be destroyed any time. But the good name that we acquire by our good works cannot be destroyed any time, because their place is in the hearts of the people.